Today I'm going to give you 3 done-for-you persuasive statements you can use to increase your conversion rate and sell more stuff. Hey, welcome back to ProfitCopilot.com. My name is Mick Meaney and this is all about helping you to get better results online. So I haven't been updating the YouTube channel, the podcast or the website as often as I have previously because I'm in the middle of making a new product and I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. And I thought, do you know what? I'm going to show you guys what I'm working on and I'm going to give you some of it for free today because I really think this is awesome stuff and it's going to absolutely benefit you. So, I don't want to be holding people over a barrel to get information that will help them in their business. I want to give them the stuff that they can use for free. And then, hey, if they want more of that, if that stuff works for them, which I believe it will do because it's worked for me, then, hey, they can upgrade to a more advanced version. But with this, I'm not sure if I'm going to sell it as a standalone product or if I'm going to add it to the Profit Copilot membership area. I'm still trying to figure that out. But anyway, this is what I'm working on. I thought I'd share it with you. So it's done for you persuasive statements. I've got about 25 persuasive statements that you can just take and use, slap it straight into your sales copy, your emails, use on the telephone, in person. You can even use this stuff to win arguments if you want to. But today I'm going to give you 2 or 3 of the most powerful ones, so you don't have to wait until the product's ready. I don't have a release date for it. I don't know when it's going to be released or anything like that. I just thought I'd share some of what I'm working on behind the scenes with you today. So the first persuasive statement that I've got for you is, how would you feel if? This is really powerful. So here you're asking your prospect to imagine a future scenario, and that future scenario must be either a positive one or a negative one. And you use this phrase, how would you feel if? You use that to push your prospect in the direction that you want them to move. So using a positive or a negative future scenario will allow you to use the escape and arrival framework that we've covered in previous videos. So your prospect, they either want to escape from something, so they might want to lose weight, they want to escape that situation of having a fat body, or they want to arrive at something. So maybe they want to arrive at making more money or increasing their investment portfolio, or who knows. Your prospect will want to do one of those 2 things, escape or arrive. So the future scenario that you place them in temporarily in their imagination will be determined by their desire to escape or arrive at something. And as a result, they become emotionally triggered when you do this because you ask them to imagine and engage with an outcome. So they're using their imagination, which of course creates images and feelings way more vivid and way more intense than anything we can use with words. So that's why we get them to imagine it for themselves. And when they imagine it, the emotional triggers kick in, and that's the real driving force of this stuff. People make purchases, make decisions on emotion rather than logic. So let me give you some examples of this one. So you might say something like, how would you feel if you could double your investment within 6 months? That's a pretty desirable outcome to achieve, right? So if someone is imagining that scenario, you're putting them in a very positive place. But on the flip side of that, we can use it to induce fear and urgency too, if we want to go down that road. So an example could be, how would you feel if you lost everything? And that's of course a negative place to put someone. So they will be operating from a place of fear and possibly urgency to prevent that from happening through purchasing your product or taking whatever action you insist they should take. So think about how this can be applied to your business. How would you feel if? What is the end result that you want your prospects to achieve? What future scenario do you want them to be placed in temporarily? What future scenario should they imagine placing themselves in? So let's have a look at another one. So let me scroll through here. There's 76 slides in this thing. So, okay, this is a really powerful one. They're all pretty powerful stuff, but I do have my favorites, and I'm sharing my favorite ones with you today. So this statement is, there are two types of people in the world. This is great for making people curious. So the instant that prospect hears that phrase, we've been conditioned to respond to it. There are two types of people in the world. They are subconsciously primed to make a decision because they know that they're going to be pigeonholed into one of two groups. They obviously want to be in the most positive one. So they're primed to make a decision. They're eager to hear the rest of the statement. It's kind of like grabbing their immediate attention and intrigue and pulling them in closer to you. So obviously you have to make one of these two choices more attractive than the other. So for best results, keep this factual or use widely known beliefs. And we do that to make your prospect more suggestible, more agreeable. And when people are more agreeable, they will be more inclined to follow our advice. So let me give you some examples. So there are two types of people in the world: those who just talk and those who get results. So there you're splitting things down the middle. You're saying there's two types of people: those who talk about doing things and those who actually go and do things. And I found that to be actually true in my experience. I have found that people who talk about doing things are the ones who end up doing less. And the ones who don't talk about doing things, they just keep their head down, they get it done, they focus on what needs to be done, rather than talking about stuff and waiting for some kind of feedback or some kind of energy transaction or something. You know what I mean, right? There's people like that everywhere. We all know people like that. Obviously, you're in the first group. You take action because you're consuming this piece of content. You've taken action to get more information that is going to help you in your business. So you're obviously in the first group. And then another example could be, there are two types of people in the world: people who invest in themselves and people who fail. So think about it. Again, that's really true, right? The most successful people around, they take the time to invest in themselves, in their education. And again, you're already in that first group because you're consuming this piece of content. You are investing in yourself just by consuming this piece of content, just by learning some new stuff that you can apply to your business. But do think about how this phrase can be used in your copy or on the phone or in person, however you're choosing to do business. So there are two types of people in the world. So before I jump on to the next one, remember in previous videos and podcasts and blog posts, I've spoken about aspirational groups and disassociative groups. Okay, an aspirational group is a group that someone wants to belong to. They aspire to become part of that group. A disassociative group is a group that they want to stay away from. They want to avoid that group or being associated with that group. So in this phrase, there are two types of people in the world. You might want to use the aspirational group first as the desirable group to belong to, and also use the disassociative group as the second one that they don't want to be a part of. An example of aspirational groups and disassociative groups could be mods and rockers, or punks and hippies, or Apple versus Mac. In every industry, every niche, we have aspirational groups and disassociative groups. So think about how this can be applied in your business. And I'm going to find another one of these examples for you. I'm aware that this is running on a little bit longer than I intended to today, but I really do want to share some of this stuff with you because I know it's going to really benefit your business when you apply this. Okay, this is another one that can be used in person or in sales copy. How open-minded are you to X? So, Everybody likes to think of themselves as open-minded. It's an attractive attribute to have, right? Everybody wants to see themselves as open-minded. They want to be seen as open-minded. Excuse me while I have a little sip of my coffee. So, using this, how open-minded are you to X? So there's a 90% chance that your prospect will be receptive to at least exploring your idea or hearing your pitch. Here, it does appear like you're giving your prospect a choice, but you're not. You're actually forcing them to consider your idea, but in a really low pressure, low key, chilled out, mellow kind of way. And it's also an ethical way of getting someone to listen to your idea too, because it feels like it was their choice. How open-minded are you to X? So there you go. That's 3 of the 25 that I've shared with you today. I hope you found it useful. If you have, hit the like button below. Subscribe to the channel too. It'll be great to have you here. And hit the little notification bell and you'll get another one of these from me tomorrow. So thank you very much for checking this out. Hope you found it useful. Have a fantastic day and I will see you again tomorrow. Take care. I was supposed to put a pitch in there, wasn't I? That's where I was supposed to say, if you want the rest of this, click the button below. I was supposed to do a sales pitch there. I didn't. Oh. Bad marketer. See you tomorrow.